Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Tonight, a Be Kind story, and what a Thanksgiving it's going to be for 6 families in New Jersey.
Yes, today they got the keys to their new homes built by volunteers from the charity of Habitat for Humanity. Talk about an unforgettable early holiday gift.
Here's New Jersey reporter Toni Yates.
Brand spanking new. It's a home, not a rental, and there are 5 more new ones like it on Main Street in Roxbury Township. Homes for families who thought they never might be able to own one.
We've been waiting for this for so long, years, for an opportunity like this, and we feel blessed.
I thank God first for the volunteers.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morris Habitat's Home is Where Hope Begins virtual breakfast. I'm Toni Yates from WABC Channel 7 Eyewitness News. I have been privileged to report from Habitat construction sites like the one you just saw throughout Morris County. For 36 years, Morris Habitat has served over 675 families with construction, home repair, and international programs. Now, after acquiring a sister affiliate last November, they are ready to serve the families in Middlesex County and Greater Plainfield as well. I'm excited to be here, of course, this morning as we introduce Middlesex County to Morris Habitat's mission, programs, supporters, and awesome families. So grab a cup of coffee and a notebook. We have a lot to cover this morning. We want you to know Morris Habitat will have 35 homes under construction this year, including 20 in Middlesex and Union counties. They partner with municipalities to build home ownership projects to meet fair share housing requirements. And none of this is possible without you. There is a role for any town, corporation, group, or family who wants to empower families here in New Jersey. To help us get started, I would like to introduce my co-host, Blair Schleicher-Wilson, the CEO of Morris Habitat.
Good morning, and thank you, Toni, for all your generosity, enthusiasm, and thanks to all of you for participating in this morning's program, especially State Senator Vitale, Mayor Kaba of Perth Amboy, and Mayor Henry of Old Bridge. You'll hear from them in a few minutes. We are so grateful that so many share our vision of a world where everyone has a decent place to live.
And of course, it's always a privilege to report from a Morris Habitat work site. I love the spirit of community that comes from gathering so many volunteers and supporters for a single cause. My favorite part is meeting Morris Habitat's homeowners in progress. Habitat families invest hundreds of hours and sweat equity building a home and a future for their children. They take pride in their homes and pride in the community that gave them a hand up. Habitat families pay their mortgage and tax bills. They educate their children. They vote and volunteer in local fire departments. Investing in affordable home ownership projects strengthens and enriches the entire community.
And that's why we want to start this morning with a celebration. Sam is a father of 2 and an Army veteran, a native of Perth Amboy and one of Morris Habitat's newest homeowners. Despite the challenges the pandemic has thrown our way, we could not let his family move into their home quietly. With thanks to the Perth Amboy Police Department, Fire Department, and other citizens of Perth Amboy, here's a little piece of the car parade we threw in his honor.
So what a fun way to start the morning, right? Next up are two gentlemen who dedicate every day to empowering the residents of Perth Amboy, State Senator Joe Vitale and Mayor Helman Kaba. As you will hear, Senator Vitale is an avid supporter and founder of Habitat in Middlesex County. Although he wasn't able to attend Sam's parade, which we will catch him at the 5K he's hosting later this year.
Hi, my name is Senator Joe Vitale from the 19th Legislative District, Old Bridge, New Jersey. I'm just posting this video and this message for our friends at Habitat and to others who are obviously participating in those programs. I've been lucky to be a part of the Habitat movement here in New Jersey for the past 21 or so years. I'm a founding member of the Middlesex County Habitat for Humanity that became the Greater Plainfield, that became, now we're partnering now with Morris, which is a terrific time and opportunity for everyone. Habitat was an easy choice for me to become involved in, and this was prior to me becoming an elected official and being, again, part of the founding membership of the Middlesex County part. They have done terrific work over the years, giving people an opportunity for home ownership as opposed to having to rent. These are opportunities that people will never have if not for Habitat. They work hard for a living, they do all the right things, yet home ownership is just out of reach. And so working with the Habitat for Humanity organization, as we all know, gives them that opportunity and makes all the difference in the world for them. I've witnessed firsthand what it means to families to be able to get that key and to walk up to that front door and open it. They participated in the construction of the project, they invested their own sweat equity, and more than that though, they're so appreciative but so excited for the work that we all did for them and that they did for themselves, frankly. So as we move on to new opportunities, I want to continue to raise money for the organization like I have in the past. I'll be running a 5K this summer to raise more money for Habitat for the projects. And so again, it's a thrill to be part of this organization in some shape or form. And so I look forward to continuing that effort. And with that, I'd like to introduce for a few words the Mayor of Perth Amboy, Helman Kaba. And I do want to say that their housing authority and their partners organization over the years have done terrific work for the people of the city of Perth Amboy. And I want to thank the mayor for his continued advocacy for Habitat and for those who live in his town. Thank you.
I want to welcome everyone to the second home dedication in the city of Perth Amboy. I'm grateful to be here today to share the celebration with Sam and his family's journey. Congratulations to the Gonzalez family. Today marks another milestone for the city of Perth Amboy as we dedicate a home to one of our country's heroes. A retired U.S. Army sergeant who has given 14 years of military service. Sam represents men and women in uniform who have given their all, their work and sacrifice for our freedom. Thank you for your service. This home represents more than just a shelter. It represents a peace of mind, as it gives them a chance to work towards security and opportunity to thrive in the city of Perth Amboy. I'm proud of this partnership, and I want to assure everyone that we're going to continue supporting Habitat projects in the future. Congratulations once again, and welcome home, Sam.
And now for the man at the center of this celebration, Sam Gonzalez. Sam dedicated hundreds of hours of sweat equity to build his home, all while working full-time at a peer support network for military families. He's given so much to the service of our country, his family, and other veterans. It's time to focus on his story and how much this new home means to his children.
I started basically in public housing. I was born and raised here in Perth Amboy and lived in Delaney homes for over 25 years, not sure how long, but basically closed out the place. You know, and while I was there, I actually worked for the Perth Amboy Housing Authority, and was fortunate enough when this all started with Habitat. I didn't really know that they were a part of it until I started reading some of the documents. And then when I had to go back into my old neighborhood, technically Dunlap, but I ran around in both places, worked in both places. It was almost like a circle coming together. I was there in public housing, and in that same area, I managed to gain a home. Now me and my family have this home, so it's been an experience. We love it. We love it. The space is great. The kids enjoy their space, and for a number of years, I lived about 10 to 11 years. I had a one-bedroom apartment, and they would sleep on air mattresses or on my bed, or if I fell asleep on the sofa. So it really didn't matter where anybody slept, but we had arrangements that weren't, that shouldn't, with two kids. When they're younger, you can probably get away with it, but when they start getting to the age that they are, where they're 13 and 16, a 16-year-old girl, my daughter Miana, and my son's 13, Ethan, they want their own space, so that's why I started kicking up dust to make sure that I get this home within that time span. And this was an opportunity, and it worked out.
It's a privilege to help families like Sam's. I love that he grew up in Perth Amboy and now can raise his children in his own hometown. Perth Amboy has a long history of supporting affordable housing. Sam's home is the second project Mars Habitat has built in collaboration with the Perth Amboy Housing Authority and Partner, and many more homes are underway. It's impossible to talk about the Housing Authority without mentioning its board president, Dorothy Daniels, another Perth Amboy native. Since 1984, she has worked tirelessly to house the families in the town she loves. I caught up with my friend Dorothy after Sam's car parade. Let's watch.
I went to a council meeting because we were having some problems with the trucks going to the factories in our area. And we were scared for our kids. And they were going along with the council meeting, and I heard somebody mention my name. And the council president, I didn't know anything about it. There was an appointment to be made to the Housing Authority. And the council president said, we're going to appoint Dorothy. And I'm sitting there, appoint me to what? What I do? That was in 1984. And I'm still here. Because, like I told the mayor today, when people ask me why I've been with the Housing Authority so long, I tell them that I committed a crime and they didn't have any room in the jails. So they sentenced me to the Housing Authority. I'm doing life there.
How many units have you been a part of building right here in Perth Amboy?
Oh, you're going to ask me for a number. I don't know. We built Penn Street. We built right across Cortlandt Street from where the house is.
Where Sam's house is, right across the street. Beautiful.
And those were high-rise buildings. And on Cortlandt Street, that was those houses across from where Sam's house is. That was a 9-story building. But that was the wrong thing of the 60s when they started housing people like that, because that's no way for children to live.
No, and if you could see them today, they're gorgeous. What are they? What are they? Fourplexes or duplexes?
Just in each apartment?
Yeah.
No, each apartment, each door is its own unit.
And they have backyards, I understand.
Yes, small backyards, but they do have backyards. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm an educator. I was an educator. And I always think about how's this going to work for the children? I can't help but think that way. That's the way I don't think about adults, I think about children.
Yeah. And that's
and
what
seniors
it's all about.
too. I think about seniors.
I'm a Jersey girl. I was born and raised in Morris County, and so are my parents and my 4 children. It has been such a pleasure for me to become better acquainted with Middlesex County. I am so impressed with the beauty of the towns and the warmth of the people who live in them. Case in point, Mayor Owen Henry of Old Bridge. We recently met to discuss 2 new habitat projects in his hometown of Old Bridge. A single-family home on Norwood Avenue, breaking ground this fall, and right across the street on Lawrence Parkway will be a 12-unit project. More to come on that one. Can you tell us a little bit about that project? Do you know it's on Lawrence?
Yes, it's been a long time coming. We talked about it. As you know, all towns had to go through the affordable housing issues a few years back when it was made mandatory. And Old Bridge was one of the first towns in the state to settle with the fair share housing. And one of the projects was that Lawrence Harbor Parkway. It was an abandoned building, township-owned property. It was a blight on the neighborhood. And we felt that was a great opportunity for affordable housing,
and to revitalize,
which is truly needed here in Old Bridge.
Yeah.
And revitalize the area, allow people to own their homes. That's unique about this project.
Yeah.
Unique amongst, I think, the only one of our affordable housing projects where it's going to be ownership.
Well, what's nice is that we're going to take this abandoned property and turn it into a beautiful homeownership area where folks are going to pay taxes, property taxes.
Yes.
They're going to start to put down roots like your parents did.
Yes.
61 years ago.
Yes.
And then get involved in the community. Many of our homeowners.
Yeah, it's going to have a positive impact on our community and that area, specifically that area in Lawrence Harbor.
Morris Habitat's construction program is a great way for Middlesex County municipalities to meet their affordable housing commitments. Here's what Adam Gordon, Executive Director of New Jersey's Fair Share Housing Center, had to say about the program. And I quote, Morris Habitat has done groundbreaking work in building affordable homes in Morris County and surrounding areas, taking the inspirational and deeply effective work of Habitat for Humanity to significant scale. We are excited when municipalities include Morris Habitat in their fair share plans because of their proven track record in building decent homes, reaching lower-income families, and partnering with leaders in local faith communities. And now, Tommy Price, Morris Habitat's construction supervisor, will fill in a few more details about the projects planned for Old Bridge.
My name's Tommy Price. I'm a construction supervisor for Morris Habitat for Humanity. I've been an employee at Morris for going on 2 years now. I like working one-on-one with the actual families that are going to receive the houses and teaching them like how to do home repairs and watching them, the joy on their face as they get to build their house. We're here at Norwood Ave for our next project where we're going to be demoing this ranch house, and in its place we're going to put a new 3-bedroom ranch. The property was donated to us, and we are going to pay it forward by giving a hand up to another family that deserves it. As proud as I am to build these homes, I'm even prouder to work with these new families. We have an affirmative marketing process. Our homeowners are selected by lottery. Between Norwood and 200 Lawrence, it will provide us with an opportunity to offer new homes to new families with a preference towards veterans. Homeowners are able to defer some of their down payment required with sweat equity. Sweat equity gives homeowners the chance to learn something about home building and to participate in the construction of their own new home. I look forward to working with all these new volunteers to give these families hand up to home ownership.
Thanks, Tommy. Before we go any further, I want to acknowledge Habitat's history in Central Jersey. We are so grateful to the founders of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plainfield, Peg and Don Peterson, Ruth and Peter Metz, and Ann and Charlie Brackbill. 30 years ago, they organized and raised the money they needed to break ground on their first home. In 2014, Greater Plainfield acquired the Middlesex County Habitat for Humanity. The combined affiliates built 47 homes, changing the lives of those families. And we are honored to have 3 employees from the Plainfield staff on our staff. You just met Tommy Price. Tom Wesco is our Director of Construction, and Loretta Rivers is our Director of Family Services. All of our staff are indebted to the thousands of volunteers who have made our program possible. Here are 2 wonderful supporters, Hedley Weeks and Elizabeth Ruffino, to talk about the Plainfield Habitat families they have gotten to know over the last 30 years or so.
Well, I remember calling on a person who was a you know, a single mother of 2 children. And her name was Valerie Mitchell. And, you know, we approved her, and she started in, and she really caught the bug. And she said, you know, from now on, she was very active and became a trustee.
Well, strangely enough, I knew Valerie before Habitat. She was a student of mine at Plainfield High. And I remember her sitting exactly where she was in the classroom and never thinking I would be connecting with her later on at Habitat. But the thing that always affects me most is the dedication of the houses. I always bring a supply of Kleenex because I know I'll cry, but it is so moving, and just the gratitude of the families is what gets me. It's very, very important to me to be part of those dedications.
Have you ever looked around your house and tried to imagine what you would take with you in an emergency? Think of your keepsakes, photos, documents that we all have tucked in a drawer or closet. Would you be able to grab it all as you rushed out of the door with your husband and 4 kids? Prepare to be inspired by Jessica Estevez. Her home was ravaged by floodwaters not once, but 3 times. Her partnership with Mars Habitat has brought her from homelessness to homeowner to home builder. She recently joined Mars Habitat's board of directors. Here is a piece of the conversation I had with my new boss in our Randolph Restore. Jessica starts by comparing the comfort of her own home to the challenges of raising children, going to work while getting her degree in her last rental, an apartment over a bar.
Oh, we have no more floods. We have no more loud music. We have no more drunk people walking around peeing in the backyard. So, you know, that has changed. My kids are more involved in recreational activities. And due to COVID, that's, you know, everyone knows there was a pause to that, but we made it happen by putting it in our driveway, a basketball court.
Oh, good.
You know, and a backyard where they call me Snow White because I have a rabbit, I have deers, I have black squirrels, okay? And I have all the beautiful birds. And that is like the most favorite part of the house.
Do you have barbecues or picnics back there?
I do. I like.
Could you do that before?
No. We couldn't do it before because the bar was there. You know, there would be unwanted attention.
Yeah. So that's got to be really nice. It's something some of us take for granted.
Yeah.
Just to have a little barbecue with family and friends, right? What was it like to celebrate your first holiday?
Oh my goodness. It was very memorable. My mom came over, my dad came over, and it was just like, wow, it was a warm feeling that I still have, you know, pictures on my Google, and I still reflect back on those moments.
Blair was right, isn't she? Jessica is impressive. Check out Mars Habitat's website for an extended version of her interview with Blair. Jessica's story about taking refuge in shelters to escape floodwaters is not to be missed. But now we turn to another board member, Dave Farrell, president of Mars Habitat's board of directors. Dave has answers about the important work of Mars Habitat's home repair programs and will introduce a tribute to some amazing volunteers.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I am David Farrell, president of the Mars Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors. Last year, Mars Habitat acquired the service area of our sister affiliate in Middlesex County and Greater Plainfield. This expansion effectively doubled our service area to 1,000 square miles in 68 municipalities, and along with it, doubled the population we serve. With the help of our friends, partners, and sponsors, Mars Habitat is excited to meet the challenge. If you have heard about Mars Habitat in the local news lately, it is likely because of the new homes being built by our construction team. We anticipate 33 housing starts this year, including projects in Middlesex County towns like Perth Amboy and Old Bridge. These large projects are rightly celebrated with parades, ceremonies, and media events. But now I would like to shift the spotlight to an equally essential accomplishments of our home repair programs. Our neighborhood revitalization and aging in place home repair programs are key parts of our mission to create and maintain affordable housing. In 2021, they will serve 100 lower-income homeowners, seniors, and persons with disabilities who cannot afford to hire traditional contractors. Living in unsafe and unhealthy homes can mean emotional and financial devastation for these families. Sometimes a relatively simple modification, like installing a wheelchair ramp, fixing a leaky roof, or replacing a water heater, can help homeowners maintain their independence in the home and neighborhood of their choice. If families in your town could benefit from our neighborhood revitalization or aging in place programs, I encourage you to visit our website or give us a call. We have partnered with several towns in the area, particularly to serve the needs of aging homeowners. Senior citizens are the fastest growing and most financially strapped segment of our community. Luckily, we have the expertise, volunteers, social service network, and professional relationships to help. On behalf of the staff and board of directors, I would like to thank you for participating in today's program. Your support allows Morris Habitat to continue building hope for a better future. Please donate or register to volunteer today. Personally, I have volunteered at over a dozen construction sites over the past years. Nothing is more gratifying than working alongside homeowners trying to build a better life for their families. And it means more to the families than you will ever know. Please listen to Sam, our new homeowner, who recently moved into his home about what volunteering means. Just listen.
And volunteering is important, these things, volunteering is a big portion of what Habitat does, and for a person that may be ill or may not be able to show up to work or have aches and pains, you showing up is going to be a great credit to them, because the same people can't be there all the time. You run them rampant. So volunteer all the time. You have to, you should. It's for your community. You have people coming into your neighborhood. You want them to have pride in there, so you show them that pride as well.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall trees bend into leaning. Suddenly the snowflakes that fall have meaning. Sprinkling the scene makes it all clean. Maybe there's a chance I could go back there, and that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend, let me start again. Suddenly my world has changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I've had my mind spin around in space, and yet I've watched it growing. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like me, like home.
Thank you, volunteers. This morning we've heard many voices telling their stories of the hope, optimism, and strength that comes from the security of owning your own home. Thousands more local families like Jessica and Sam are just as ready for an opportunity to build a foundation and a future for their children.
With your support, Middlesex County and Greater Plainfield can continue growing as vibrant and welcoming communities that offer all of our neighbors a chance to live the American dream. I'd like to give a shout out to a few of our new friends joining us today: Dana Corbman, Melvin Rodriguez, and Donald Wiggins. We are grateful that many of you, like Senator Vitale, Mayor Caba, and Mayor Henry, are already on board. We've gathered some friends and partners, old and new, to pick up a hammer in support of our Habitat families. Let's watch. Maybe you will see someone you know. It's gratifying to know so many of you are willing to open your hearts to keep our hammers swinging.
There is a critical need for affordable housing in New Jersey. It has never been more obvious than during this past year. Safe, affordable housing is essential to every family's health and financial stability. Morris Habitat has a proven track record and is ready to help. If you live in a town looking for a cost-effective solution for building safe, decent, and affordable homes, call Morris Habitat. If you know of a senior or disabled person living in an unsafe home, call Morris Habitat. If you work for a corporation who wants to be known for its commitment to the community, call Morris Habitat. Home sponsorships are available, as are volunteer build days for your employees.
Yes, please get in touch, because every one of you can be an important part of the work we do. Thank you all for taking the time to get to know Morris Habitat this morning. All of our registered guests were entered into a raffle to win a Habitat at Home basket compliments of honey baked ham. Congratulations to the winner. You'll be hearing from us shortly. And we need to thank this morning's sponsors: DuPont, J&J, and PNC Bank. Your generous partnership helps Morris Habitat change lives for life. Toni, as always, it's so great to have you on the Morris Habitat team. You have an amazing energy, even at 7 a.m. this morning.
I do try. You're very welcome, Blair. It's always a pleasure to help Morris Habitat for Humanity, and I encourage our guests this morning to join the team as well. Start by visiting Morris Habitat's website. While you're there, you can donate, register to volunteer, and find much more information about Morris Habitat families, projects, and programs. Working together, we can help families with a hand up to home ownership.
We hope to see you soon volunteering, shopping in our Restore, or on our social media sites. Thanks again, and let's get to work.